Welcome everybody to already the fourth episode of this podcast. I know it's been actually just been a few days since we've had Rob from Giga Plays. However, now we have an even more amazing guest. I tell you, today we're being joined by the amazing NeoNess007. But before we get into that, let me just quickly bring this up. This podcast, as always, is being brought to you by you guys amazing Twitch subscribers. Thank you so much for your continuous support. And if you miss this episode live, you can always find it back on youtube.com/Michel Postma. With that out of the way, anyway, guys, who the fuck is NeoNess007? Who is this guy? Who is he? Well, I'm gonna tell you all about it. This guy is not just a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer. He does both. And some say that he may just very well be the richest bloke in Warframe, and he can make you just as rich without the need of having to spend a penny. Well, who is this guy? Well, he tells you all about it, about making plat via trade chat. Mr. Plat himself. Aside from that, well, what else? He's a very good friend of mine. And the spiritual father of the show. I think it's time that we say hi to the guy and we talk a little bit more about it. Let's go. What up, Neo?
What's up, Michelle? How you doing?
Oh my god, dude. So great to see you. How you doing?
Doing good. Good to see you too. It was a fantastic intro. I appreciate the heck out of it.
These intros are really fun because I get to say all the good things that I want to say about my friends without sounding too cheesy. So let's get into like the gist of it. Let's get into the most important thing, which I think is on most people's minds, is Plat. You know, Warframe. You're a Warframe YouTuber, but unlike a lot that we see before, it's like, oh my god, it's all about the mop builds. It's all about the plat. No, it's all about the mop builds. It's all about the Warframe. So you're actually specifically about the platinum. How did you decide? Well, first of all, how did you decide to do Warframe to begin with? Because, well, let's actually straight ahead go onto your channel, because I've never so quickly gone into the rabbit thing. But let's just go take a look here if I got all my scenes right, because if we take a look at your channel, like, you very, very quickly discovered Warframe. Wasn't that right?
I actually discovered Warframe. Well, it wasn't me. It was a friend of mine. I got an Xbox One, and there weren't a lot of free games. I had like Grand Theft Auto for it. That was the only thing. And he's like, "Oh, check out all these free-to-play games. Check out Warframe. I've played it before. It's awesome. You know, I think you'll like it." So I wound up playing the game with him for maybe about 3 weeks, but it was kind of like one of those things where I'm getting feedback. I'm getting feedback from something else. I don't know if you got that too.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's killed right now. I don't know what else.
Well, now I know where you're going with this, with these questions and stuff.
Well, you don't know the least of it. We still got a lot in store. That's for later, by the way, but I will have to find the right time. But we'll just let that play, whatever. Okay. But one thing that really stood out to me is that a lot of people, they like tried a couple of games, and then you know, they stumbled across Warframe, and people like it. Well, you didn't just stumble across Warframe. Yes, you did do like
I was pulled into Warframe. This community is amazing. Like I started streaming Warframe, and I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea how to play the game back, 3 years ago. It wasn't like they don't hold your hand when you play Warframe. They don't walk you through it and really give you kind of any ideas to what you're doing in the beginning. And I think 3 years ago, from their point of view, they thought that, the little pop-ups and stuff, or like the little, I think they thought people were going to read everything in the game like a manual, and I don't think they really were on point with that. Very few people, I think, are that kind of mindset where they'll do that. And I'm definitely not one of those. I don't want to read anything. I want to just get into it, and I want to have fun. I want to play the game. I don't want to learn the game or like about it. I want to play it. I want to be moving and doing stuff. And I wasn't doing anything right. So I started streaming, and slowly I'd have people come into my channel being like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?" And I have no idea. I didn't know what I was doing. So they realized that very quickly and started teaching me the game. And then the more that I was playing it and getting into it, the more people will come by and just give me tips and pointers and stuff like that. And I literally have become a product of this community. So it's not like I decided one day, oh, I'm going to be popular streaming Warframe. I just started streaming it. And there was no plans or anything with it that I initially had until everybody started really just pushing me forward, because I would learn some things, and then new people would come around, and I would tell them what I learned, and everyone would be like, "Hey, he gets it," you know, and everyone's like really excited that, you know, like now, you know, the what are they, the kunai or whatever now becomes a senpai, the student becomes a teacher.
Yeah.
So I basically started teaching people, and then it just kind of took off from there. As far as the question that you had before, how did I get into, you know, platinum and all that sort of stuff? I didn't plan on getting into platinum at all. I'm definitely the kind of person that when a game is free to play, it goddamn better be free to play. Like, there better not be this, you know, gotcha after like 20 hours, 30, 50 hours of you playing, and then all of a sudden you got to spend some money to get somewhere. So I was like, I had a lot of people telling me that that's not the case, and then I had a lot of people that didn't play very long saying that that was the case. A lot of misinformed people in the beginning years ago would always say about Warframe, and then kind of sully its name, say stuff along the lines of, you know, oh, it's just, but you still have to pay. You have to pay to do that. And they would just be spreading this crap around, and I kind of got upset about it because I really started to love the game, and I started to get upset with the people that were just putting it down, because I realized that as a free-to-play game, you can't just, you know, like, as a free-to-play game, and with how amazing it really was, and for how little of traction it had in the beginning, I was upset about that, because I wanted to see it do very well. So I basically went out to prove you don't have to spend a penny on this game. You don't have to spend a dime, nothing. You could get everything you want in the game. 99% of everything you wanted that exists in the game, you could get completely free just playing the game. So I kind of decided to learn trade chat, and I had a lot of great teachers kind of walk me through that in the beginning. And then that kind of turned into a lot of the plot videos that I made. I didn't initially want to make plot videos. What I really wanted to do was just make videos on Warframe, but the plot videos always seem to do the best. So I eventually just decided I'm going to stick with those. And I'm just going to, you know, keep doing plot videos, since that's what majority of people really want to see from me anyway, is the plot videos. And I enjoy doing it, so I didn't really mind.
Because getting to the plot video, by far, like, your most viewed video is, I think, the very first one about the Warframe Platinum series, greatest way to make platinum ever. I actually absolutely love that title. But did you expect this video to do so well when it came out? Because I kind of see, like, if we go back, it's like this video kind of seems to have, like, launched the channel, the YouTube channel at least, from the time that this video came out. Like, it went up.
I don't know if this is the video that actually took the channel, got the channel up and running. It might have actually been the video, because I'm looking at the date on it, November 2016. I know, like, around October, November is when the channel really started to take off to a whole new level. And I think I gained like 10,000 subs over the course of a month, maybe a month and a half, which was amazing, because I still wasn't at 20,000 subs yet. Like, it took 6 months on YouTube to get to 500 subs.
What?
And then the next 6 months, it took 6 months to get to 500, and then the next 6 months after that, I'm at 10,000, and that was insane. Like, that was a ride. That was an amazing rush of people. It was an amazing rush of a feeling. It was awesome. It was really, really cool.
So basically the trade stuff, like the mechanics, the skill of the trade, you didn't necessarily learn that for yourself as much as you did to show it around. Because I've had it too. Like, when I started Warframe, I was like, this game is so great. However, like, you end up with that you have only 50 platinum, starter platinum, and I spent it all on the format, and then I found you had to pay platinum for slots, and I was like, oh shit, that's a huge bummer, because it was such a great game, but I can't get these slots. And then the platinum seemed to be the thing that it is a pay-to-play game. But then the trade chat was there, and that made a lot of things better. So was that, like, the way that you learned trade chat? Was that really because you wanted to show this side of Warframe, or did you also, like, learn it for yourself to get like these slots, get the platinum you need, because did you also, my question actually, did you have to like work around the platinum to begin with, and that's why you learned trade chat, or did you were you already ahead in the game and then decided, well, let me find out the best ways to do trade chat so I can tell you guys what's the easiest way to do it?
So it kind of was an overtime thing. When I started playing the game, the senpais that were teaching me how to play the game would always every once in a while be like, yeah, you just get it from trade chat. Yeah, just get it, like, it's no big deal. Yeah, just go to trade chat, get it from there. You know, so like as a collector, when I really appreciate a game, I want everything in it. I want to everything the game has to offer, I want to accomplish, because I enjoy the game that much that I would do that. It's I don't know how to explain it, but it's weird. It's like, if I like the game, I want to do everything it has to offer. Mm-hmm. You know, eventually it turned into, all right, I'm obviously becoming a content creator for this game. So now I don't just want everything for, you know, like from the collector's point of view. Now I want everything from a collector's point of view so I can show the community what I'm talking about, you know? So if I have any, if they have any questions or anything, I have it to be like, yeah, this is what it is. This is what it does. This is how you use it, and just all the important stuff. But initially, when I was playing the game, my senpais are just always like, yeah, just go to trade chat. Just go to trade chat. Get it. And I think it was about a year that I played the game before I actually got into trade chat. I think I played the game for about a full year before I even decided to go into trade chat, because that was before they had the systems in place that you know, stop people from being scammed. So I was always worried about, like, oh, well, what if I go to try to sell something and I get it wrong, and then I lose a lot of platinum, or, you know, I wind up ripping somebody off. Like, I was worried about both sides of it, and eventually I was just like, whatever. Like, I'm never going to learn if I just don't go do it. So then I just started doing it while they were kind of, you know, coaching me along and telling me what to sell stuff for. But more importantly, though, since they were the veterans, what I wasn't just getting, you know, like, they were very big on, I remember specifically Zeta. His name is Zeta. If he sees this, what's up, Zeta? How you doing? He specifically was against holding my hand learning this game. He would always show me stuff in the game, and he'd never show me the builds. He would always tell me about stuff in trade chat and never tell me what it's worth. But he would tell me why, you know, it should be worth a certain amount. And then when I started to kind of, you know, get what he was getting at, then he'd start telling me, yeah, you're on the right track. Yeah, that's why it's worth that much. Or, yeah, you know, that's why you can sell it, or that's why you can buy it for that. But in the beginning, he was very big on forcing me to not have my hand held, you know, not always have to rely on him. And now it's been like a couple of years, and it's like I don't really see him much, so it's not like I can even just hit him up every day if I still have questions. So it was a good thing that he did that.
It's quite a good way. Like, it's so hard with Warframe when you have, like, the mod system is one of the most confusing things in the entire game that fortunately is completely not explained. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's nice to introduce new players to, like, one of the most important systems of the game. However, at the same time, if you really take people by the hand and show them all the mod builds, they'll come to rely on just one mod build, and they won't figure out for themselves that you can have a peculiar growth and make all the enemies look extra thick. So, you know, that's pretty cool. But about trading, funny thing, by the way, well, when I did my first trade, I think it was an arcane helmet, because I had like a ton of Warframes, like I couldn't claim them, and then the Arcanes just went out, and I could sell one for like 400 plat, and I was like, done, because I didn't know that these things would be expensive later on down the line. I was like, do it. But so, like, about training, how did, like, of course, all the skills or all the details, all the tricks of the trade, that's what we can find in your channel. But how do you keep up with the patience and the people themselves? Because, like, my God, I remember back in my day when I traded, it was like you just sat there and you had to wait, and sometimes you could just spend hours and hours, and with people that didn't want to take your offers, and always they would like throw it down. They would like always go on, and you're like, no, I just need those 12 plat for a slot, please just let me have this. How do you keep up with that? How can you stay sane with that?
I don't. I don't stay sane. I'm not kidding. I don't. Trade chat, there's just a lot of people in trade chat that just don't really understand how it's supposed to work, and, you know, like how it operates and everything. And a lot of times, you know, like you're saying, you'll find yourself, you know, just waiting forever for something to get sold, you know, or somebody to buy your stuff or whatever. And I don't have any patience whatsoever. So I just multitask. Like that's just what I do. Like when I'm in trade chat, I'll put messages out. I'll know in the back of my mind. I think I have a very good counter in my mind as far as time goes. So I'll know in my mind. I'm like, all right, I posted it 2 minutes from now. Look at the screen again. You know, like or if I hear somebody message me, it'll beep. You know, for like a quick second, and then I'll know that I have a hit or whatever. But I'll just multitask. I'll be reading YouTube comments. I'll be looking stuff up on the internet, like whatever. I'll just be doing something else. I kind of look at trade chat as like what I do with my free time, sort of, instead of what I do with my work time, I guess. Even though it's work and I'm recording it and I'm using it for work, I just kind of like, because there's no guarantee that you'll ever make a trade. I'll just multitask. So I'll put the messages out and I just let them sit, and I'm doing other stuff the whole time.
So it's you will still stay in the game. You will still stay at like the trade chat. You won't go into missions to do like a 5-hour survival run. Be like, oh yeah, I'll get back to you in 4 hours and 55 minutes.
If I get bored and I need a break, I'll go into missions. For the most part, a lot of people don't realize this, but if you're in trade chat and you post a message and then you're like, okay, good, I'm going to post a message, and I've covered this in the videos, but if you post a message and then you go into a mission right after that, your name gets taken out of the list in trade chat. And this is a big deal on console. If you're on PC, you could just go to the name and click on the name and message that person. But if you're on console, the moment you go into a mission, your name's off the list of the people that are in that trade chat server. So if somebody sees your message and goes, oh, I got to find this guy, and you're in a mission, your name's not there. They can't find you. You won't get hit up. So it's kind of a big deal. But I learned that a while ago. Like if you are going to go into trade chat, post messages, and then immediately dip out of trade chat, go into missions, you're not going to get found if you're on console.
Wow. That's a pretty annoying thing, because you just have to stay and look at that chat and nothing's happening. Well, you can go and build some health capsules or cybers or whatever. But my big question, and I think a question on a lot of people's minds that maybe have not seen you, that know now that you're like a plat guy. You know everything about how making the most plat ever. You're the richest man in town. How much is your plat balance at?
Well, on Xbox, the highest it's been at was 22K.
Ooh.
And I don't know if I actually have recorded footage of that. I don't know if it might be in a video somewhere, maybe not even related to plat, because I don't always do plat videos.
So we don't have proof of that. Ooh.
But we might. It might be in a video. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. All I know is like I didn't make a video being like I have 20,000 plat. Like I didn't really do something like that.
That's so bad. It feels so wrong.
But yeah, the highest was over 22,000 platinum. And that's not a lot. I know a lot of people are like probably like their eyes are glazed over, like, oh my god, I could buy everything in the market. First of all, you can't even come close to buying everything in the market for 22,000 plat. There's a lot. We did the math months ago, and I now have to update it. But there's an enormous amount of things you can buy from the market that you're going to need a lot more than 22,000 plat. So that ain't nothing. And it's no means whatsoever a brag. So I don't want you guys to think that 20,000 is a lot. It's not. Adjust your mindsets or whatever, and get to the point where you're like, okay, that's just it's kind of chump change. So that being said, I blew through a lot of that plat, and a lot of times what I'll do when I'm using a lot of that plat. Now my Xbox is down to like 8,000 right now is what I have there, and I haven't really been on Xbox in a year. Like I've jumped on it here and there for daily logins to do some streams on Xbox, but for the most part I don't really use it. I'm still sitting on 8,000 plat, which is pretty healthy, because now if I jump back into it for whatever reason, I got 8,000 plat. I can go pick up something if I need it really quick from the market, a Warframe like Cora, for example. Like I don't have her on Xbox because I'm not, I don't really play it much anymore, but if I needed to, it's there. As far as PC goes, the highest amount I've ever had was 14,000. But you guys watching the new series that's out right now, you'll see that what I did with that 14,000 was, because I was still new to PC and I hadn't gotten into trading on the PC account yet at that time, was I spent all that platinum getting approximately 130 Volvin sets.
What are you doing that for?
Because he was about to get vaulted.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of his parts are rare, and regardless of what people hear or see on the internet, rare parts, from what I was taught from my senpai based off of the amount of time it takes to get them, based off the popularity of Vauban, which was good enough. His popularity was good enough that you can get a Vauban, you can get his parts for 50 plat, and a lot of other factors. He could easily, every one of his parts could easily be sold for 50 platinum, just individually. As a set, I was selling Vauban sets between 200 and 300 platinum, because that's what you do. Like that's what it's worth and everything. And when I was buying those sets, I spent all 14,000 plat that I had on those sets because, for whatever reason, I kind of know the reason, but they were going for 15 platinum a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of his parts are rare. We're looking at a 200 platinum set going for 60. Like, yeah, I'm going to blow a lot of my plat on that, and not all of it, which is what I did. And then in the process of blowing all my plat on that, the game plan was, which is still the same game plan, is the longer you have something that's vaulted, the more its price increases. So I basically bought 130 Vauban sets to hold on to for a while for his price to go up high. And when his price is averaging maybe 400 plat, on average, I'll flip them. It's not a big deal. So I literally spent 6 platinum per set on average. Some of them I got lower, but and it's not because they knew who I was. And a lot of people say that, well, you're a YouTuber, we know who you are, so everybody gives you stuff.
It's not like you have YouTuber in your name.
Often as you all think.
It's not like you have YouTuber in your name. Okay.
Yeah, no. I get that, but because there's so many kids. No, hold on 1 second. Having YouTuber and Twitch, Twitch streamer or whatever it is in your name is becoming very popular among any video game you play now. I see it all the time in Rocket League, in just any games like Call of Duty games or whatever. It just doesn't matter what game you're playing. Everybody's changing their username to put YouTuber or Twitch in it, like that's going to make you popular. I didn't do it necessarily to make me popular, but I didn't necessarily do it not for the advertising. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like I basically.
Let me tell you. All right. Let me tell you, guys. For those you don't know, it's your PC account, right? In his PC account, he's named himself YouTuber NeoNess, and with all the dashes. So it's like, because then you like pop up always on top of people's friends lists, something like that. Is that the reasoning?
Yeah, the 3 dashes is because I originally made a NeoNess007 account by itself. And then what I realized was all these people that have dashes and periods and whatever squiggles in their names, they're all coming up at the top of the list. And I'm like, I want to be seen. So I'm going to change my name. Then I made an account where I changed my name. And now that's my primary account, is where it has the 3 dashes, because the more dashes you have, the higher up it is, or whatever. And then it's YouTuber NeoNess. So the point that I was getting at before with the YouTuber in my name is, like, it's so watered down, so many people are doing it, that people just see it and they kind of ignore it. Like, for the most part, like, even though it's kind of advertising, and once in a while I get somebody like, oh, I didn't know you were a YouTuber, I'll go check your stuff out. And then I get messages back like, you have almost 60,000 subs, that's incredible, and then it's like, it kind of makes it like you have more credibility. It's like the more subs you have, the more credibility you have or something. I guess that makes sense, but it's still a overtime kind of thing. It takes to grow a channel.
It's kind of stupid.
But people people see the YouTuber and they don't just give me stuff because it's YouTuber I name. Everybody that has Twitch, or YouTube in their name doesn't just get stuff.
No.
It's so watered down because everybody's doing it. And not everybody's really doing it. You're not really a YouTuber. You're not really a Twitch streamer just because you have YouTube and Twitch in your name,
We had that one time when we were doing the couch call night, and there was this one guy that had YouTube in his name, and we were playing Lunara or something like that, or PvP. Mm-hmm. So we decided to look him up. It was like a small channel with like 5 videos. And we kind of considered doing a reaction video on that, just because it was like, hey, we saw that guy there, and then we messaged him like, hey dude, well, shall we shout your YouTube channel out? Hey dude. He never responded, so we were like, well, let's see if we can make a reaction. That we never did it. But yeah, it's getting back to that point of like YouTubers having more subs being like more valid or whatever. It's like, that really reminds me of that one time at FitCon, I think it was last year, where there was like this Instagram model with 16,000 followers that was like, I guess, a security guard raging on about, oh, why are you not letting me in? Who do you think you are? You only got 8,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
That person irritated not only the crap out of me, but I'm sure majority of the planet that knew about that. I mean, I had maybe around 30,000 subs at the time, maybe even 40 when that happened. And I didn't even think I was hot shit. Like, I would never go up to somebody and just whatever the word is, put them down because I have followers on the internet. Like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I understand having like followers and stuff you can make a living off of, and it creates a livelihood for a person that does that, but putting other people down because of that is ludicrous. I would never do something like that. I'm so irritated by watching that.
Let me see if I can find that moment, like right here. You can never find the original clips of this, just only reaction videos. There we go.
Yeah, this part. I don't even want to watch this. It's so like, oh, this dude is cringe.
I have a lot more money than you. Listen, everybody told me that I had a little wiener when I was growing up, and I'm gonna prove everybody I'm a big dog on campus now.
I make a lot of money.
Bro, you have 16,000 followers on YouTube. You don't make a lot of money. You definitely don't make a lot of money. There's no way you make a lot of money. You're not, and it's, I don't know if he's from LA or whatever, but you're not living in LA off of 16,000 followers on YouTube. You're not even paying your phone bill off of that. That is, oh my god, this dude is.
It is. It's so crazy how people can, just let themselves go. I have never been to a FitCon. I'll probably want to go there. Do you want to go to a FitCon at some point? Have you been to one?
At some point, yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah. But I'm still working on doing TwitchCon. Are you going to TwitchCon?
That really depends on how it goes with the channel, because right now I don't think I'll have the funds for it, so it just depends on how it goes. But TennoCon is a definite yes. TwitchCon I'd love to go, but yeah, it kind of depends, And
that should be exciting, TwitchCon.
Mm-hmm. I saw it last year. Like, oh man, I wish I went there. Then again, like, TwitCon seems really awesome just because, like, I'm more of a YouTube guy. And I'm like, I would love to see FitCon and then explore into that territory, like meet other YouTubers. But yeah, it's so close before TennoCon that I'll just literally like fly to Cali, fly back, and then fly to Canada. It's like, it makes no sense, right? But yeah. Actually, what surprised me, like you said you started out on Twitch, right?
Yes.
I always knew you from YouTube, and then saw you over on Twitch.
There is a really good reason for that.
Explain. I want to know.
I got better at YouTube faster than I did with Twitch, and my YouTube blew up a lot faster than it did with Twitch. I mean, I'm almost currently at 60,000 subs on YouTube, and I'm not more than, I think, 32,000 on followers on Twitch. So I'm even though I started on Twitch, it took longer. I always knew in the back of my mind too that YouTube is faster. It's a faster way to grow an audience, because they don't have to catch you when you're live. There's a lot more opportunities to advertise yourself, because once you put something down on YouTube, it's there forever, and it could always be searched. But there's no search system on Twitch. There's no and it's not like when we do our streams on Twitch, it's set up in a way where we're titling them about what we're doing on the stream, and then it goes into a database where those are always getting collected, and you could always go back and look it up or something to try and find somebody. Though it would probably be a pretty cool idea with Twitch.
It's
the most important thing I'd want from them to be down with that idea would be for them to increase the amount of compensation that partners get versus what they're currently giving us right now. That'd be the only thing. I'd be like, you increase the compensation by a good amount, then yeah, I would rather then I could see it making sense, making videos intentionally for Twitch. But right now, it's just, you get paid a lot more on YouTube. It doesn't make any sense.
It's the Twitch is such a different beast from YouTube, which I think is so interesting. But
yeah,
like, there are so many benefits to Twitch, which are like the interaction with the community. Like, I got to know my community so much better via Twitch, because you actually talk to them. You can actually be like, hey dude, how was your weekend? And they can respond, and you don't do that in the YouTube comment section. However, like Twitch, it's like it also, like, in my experience, it paid out better. But then again, I did have like a very bad option enabled that kind of cut my revenue like 90% off, which really sucked. But like, it's really based on like how many viewers you have, because it's like people will go to a directory, they'll go to a game. If they don't have favorite streamers yet, they'll just go to a game, and it's like the top 5 they'll pick. Like, it's not like you scroll down because like you're looking for a specific title. It's just like you look at who's streaming, and either you know them or it's like they're in the top 5. And if you start out on Twitch, it's like you're gonna be all the way down below, and it's gonna be hard for someone to find you.
I think with Twitch, the biggest helpful piece of advice I think people could get is that with Twitch, there's about 3 reasons people are like looking through Twitch. The most probably common one is entertainment. So that's why you'll find a lot of people get attracted to, the huge, the channels that have loads of people in them already. It's just it's called social proof. Mm-hmm. If a lot of people are doing this, then that means it makes sense. Like, it's a subliminal thing that our conscious kind of like comes to that conclusion. If a lot of people are doing it, then that means this is the right thing to do. So they'll see a lot of people just watching a certain streamer, and they'll go, oh, well, everybody's here, so this has got to be where the party is. And that doesn't necessarily make it the better stream to be at. It doesn't make it that, all the great stuff is happening just coincidentally at that time that all these people are here. It's just, for entertainment purposes, and subliminally people see all that, engagement, and they go, this is probably where the best place to be is. The next reason is that people wind up being on Twitch is for like people to play with, and like just other streamers to kind of like talk with and just ask questions to. And that, when like that kind of brings it down to the next level. Now people don't generally go to the largest person and ask questions for too long before realizing they're not getting their questions answered, because there's too many people, chat's going too fast, it's impossible for a single streamer to read all that stuff. So then they'll jump down into the streams that maybe have less people in it to try and ask, for advice. And then the third step is you'll find people will go down to the like even lower of viewers streams just to find people to play with. So they'll be like, can I, like, are you playing with viewers is a very common question. So for people that are streaming on Twitch, if you don't have a lot of people in your channel, maybe put in your title like, hey, playing with viewers or something like that, because you will get a lot of people that are just looking for somebody to play a game with, or maybe need help on a certain part, or whatever it might be. But that's it's also a kind of good way to start building an audience if you're brand new, is to just help people, just have that in your title and stuff.
So, but I think you kind of came back with Twitch during around the planes, the drop moment.
Oh yes,
the Warframe drops. That was like,
yes.
That was the moment I saw your channel shine. It's like, and for me, like, it was an amazing experience to see that. But I want to know, like, what was it like for you? How did that go? Like, what was the entire experience for you? Was it like, what was it? Something you planned for? Was it completely new?
Yes.
That
was a goal. In the beginning of the year, I put a video out that one of the goals for the year is to get partnered on Twitch. And towards the end of the year, we still weren't partnered. I went to TennoCon. I knew what was happening with the, Planes of Eidolon dropping and stuff like that. And I knew there was going to be an increase in the community. I also knew that I had to get on it before the increase in the community came around, because after all that time of going for partner with Twitch, you learn a lot. You meet a lot of friends that are partners, and you ask the questions, and you wind up finding out that like Twitch knows why your channel blows up. They know if it's blowing up through getting hosts. So a lot of people that think I'm going to get partnered because everyone's going to host me, they know, and you're not going to get partnered for that particular reason. Like, you gotta grow it on your own. You gotta grow a community, but without the help of other people. It's okay to get hosted by other people, but if you're reaching the numbers because you're getting hosted, but you're not reaching the numbers before you're getting hosted, that's totally not helping. So I knew that I had to get on it before Planes of Eidolon dropped, and I started my grind way before Planes of Eidolon dropped. So I started my grind for partner, and that's why the YouTube content slowed down. I also had a job at the time, like a IRL job, and I was basically juggling. It's just everything is a juggle. It's nice now that I'm doing Twitch and YouTube full time, because now all I'm doing is juggling just these two things. Juggling these nuts. I'm sorry. But anyway, so like I knew that Plains of Eidolon was going to drop. Did I know how many people were ever going to wind up in my stream? No, I had no idea I was going to have a couple of days of streaming with 12,000 people in my stream. I had no idea that it was going to fall in the time that Twitch was doing TwitchCon, and half of the Warframe community that I normally compete with because they're very popular wasn't going to be there. I had no idea that all this was just going to happen, and it was almost like, it felt like magic that it was all working out. But it was also more than magic. It was grind. People are like, you're so lucky, but luck is just hard work mixed with, you know, you putting yourself out there. That's all luck is. There's no such thing as luck, you know, like there is if you win the lottery and stuff, but like, it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the way people throw the word luck around. Like I work my butt off. I streamed a lot, and, you know, it was a blessing that everybody was like gone for TwitchCon when Plains of Eidolon dropped. Because then I'm sitting here with 12,000 people in my stream, and it was a rush. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I didn't put, I may have put slow mode on, maybe, but I don't remember. All I know is the entire time it was happening, I'm trying to answer every single question I possibly can and play the game at the same time, just to help as many people out as humanly possible. And it was a rush, and I loved it. And while it was happening, I literally want to say that, like, if you've ever been to like a busy flea market, and you see, you know, people that just are like one-manning a tent or something like that, and like one-manning a shop, and there's loads of people like, oh, let me get this, let me get that, let me get this. Just, everyone's always like, you know, trying to buy something. You see them rushing around constantly, just trying to help everybody. And for as long as I streamed those 2 days, like, that's what it felt like. It felt like I was just constantly rushing around, and it was awesome, and I don't regret it. It was the best, and I loved having that many people in there. I loved how busy it was. It just, I don't know, it was awesome. I would do it again in a heartbeat over and over and over again. It was just the best.
It's such a rush. Like, I remember from the big streams we did, I think my max was 3,000 or so. I don't know, I didn't look at the numbers at the time, but it's like you're just asking one question. It's like, boom, if you're like, what time is it at your place, or where are you from, guys? And it's like, in 1 second, you can't even read all of them. It's like, it's so crazy. It's so great. How do you even get the gameplay at that point? But did you have any plan going to the drops? Because at that time, you were part of Club Rio, and Nick's also part of Club Rio as well. And you guys were like, you were the two guys that were like shining out above the rest. And I always wondered, like, was there a plan, a strategy to this? Or did you guys just jump on, was like, I'm going to stream the entire day. I'm just going to stream as long as I can. I'll just drop down, I'll fall asleep, I'll wake up, and I stream again.
That was the plan. That was 100% the plan. The two of us were going for partner, and that was absolutely the plan. Nick's was like, I don't know if I'm going to go for partner, and then he puts his application in. He was always like, I don't really know if I'm going to go for partner now, and then his application's in all of a sudden. But yeah, the two of us were definitely going for partner with Twitch.
Did you also communicate that with each other, like, if one went offline, that you guys would share hosts or so? Or was it just like both on a one-man quest and be like, at the end of it, like, dude, well done?
Yeah. Oh, totally. We totally were communicating back and forth, like, you know, hey, what time are you ending your stream? Or I'll go live then. And then, you know, be like, all right, well, how much time do you need before you're going to be streaming again? Okay, so I'll stay live until then, and I'll host you back. And we just kept flipping hosts back and forth with each other. And it's smart. It's really smart. Like, the Twitch doesn't have anything against that. If anything, I would imagine they'd encourage it, because it's building a lot of closeness with the community and stuff between at least you. And a lot of people be like people have this, what is it? Sometimes people come from this mindset of scarcity, like, you know, oh, well, you know, kind of a negative place where it's like, well, you're ruining it for everybody else. And it's like, that's not how it works. You don't watch a television show that you love forever before your brain goes, hey, listen, still love the show, still want to not miss every episode, but how about instead of watching this on rerun constantly, we go look for something else for a little bit instead of watching the same episodes over and over and over again. You know, eventually everybody's brain's going to hit that point where it's like, you may not be sick of the streamer, but sooner or later you're going to be like, your brain is just on this, your brain's always in a place where it wants to, you know, help you survive. So it knows that you need to always know more. There's more out there. And I'm not saying you'll get sick of entertainment of a certain style or a certain streamer, but sooner or later your brain's going to be like, let's see what else is out there. And you're going to go explore, and you're going to go look for other people. So for people to think that, like, that tactic is a method of stealing or, keeping it, they're coming from a negative place. They're coming from, like, a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
And it's not really the way that it works.
Like, totally. It's your moment, man. It's like your time to shine. Like, as you said, there's no fingers locked. You just put in your work, and you came there, and you were doing great. Like, 15,000 viewers a month before that. Like, the entire Warframe directory held like 1,500 viewers at best. So you were like, like it was like times 10, but then just for you. And then the one below that just almost as good. I don't know. But did you get a lot of hate for that? Did you get a lot of shit for that? Did people, like, the actual streamers actually go up to you and say, like, hey, dude, what are you doing? You're taking away my views?
No. And if there are any out there like that, it's probably better they don't, because it's
I was
drama.
Wondering, like,
it's drama nonsense on every level. You were completely wrong, and I'm not gonna sit here and it'd be a waste of my time to have to defend this. But there are a lot of really intelligent people out there that I like, that I follow, and I learn, how to go through life from, and just kind of take examples from them and just act the way they have. Like it's. If you want more in life or whatever, you look up to people that have more in life, and you kind of emulate them. You do what they do. If you want what they have, you got to do what they've done, and that sort of stuff. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and waste my time because I'm on a grind, to make it in YouTube and Twitch and all that sort of stuff. And the best thing that I can have is like, I'm so confident that I'm not wrong based off of who I follow and all that sort of stuff, that I'm not even going to waste my time arguing with stupid or stupidity. If anybody has a problem with like that's their problem, and it's not in my arena to sit here and just battle that out. It's not. I don't know, man. Like I don't really know how else to word it.
No, I get it. It's like people like that are not worth your time. It's pretty much like it's so pointless to be jumping into drama when you can put in your own work. But with that, like with last year being such an amazing year for you, like what are your future stuff? Like what's next on the horizon for you? What are you aiming at? Now you got Twitch partner, and
well, I always want to keep improving. So. By streams, I've been working on improving my streams, and I'm going to have something cool happening with the streams that I've been telling them a little bit about, but like my community, but you'll see it in the near future. There's going to be some cool things added to the streams and all that sort of stuff. And then it's very important. I think what people don't realize, and this is the same thing with YouTube too. I think what a lot of people don't realize is the moment you think you've succeeded, that's the moment you start to die. Like the moment you think that you have hit the end all be all is the moment you become the end all be all. And the reason is because it's not the getting there that makes you success. It's not the being there that makes you a success. It's all the work and things you were doing to get there that made you a success. And a lot of times what people do is they get to the end and then they stop doing all the things that got them there. And then they wonder why they're declining. Then they wonder why there's not as much growth. And it's because you felt like you made it to retirement and then part of you retired. And now you're not as entertaining. Now you're not as, now you're not as relatable as you might have been, or maybe now you don't have as much energy as you did because you don't have anything to work for, so there's a lot less excitement. Like maybe you're happy and everything being in retirement, but you being there and you not working anymore is kind of your own death. Like that's you just killing it for yourself. So there's always going to be another level. There's always going to be new goals and new things and everything like that. I want to be at 100,000 subs by the end of the year with YouTube. And with Twitch, I don't really follow followers, so to speak. Like I don't really watch the followers because I know Twitch doesn't care for the most part. They care about your active audience, and your subscribers and all that sort of stuff. And just for the sake of growth and everything, I want to have by the end of the year on Twitch, I want to have around 1,000 subs, like 1,000 subs on a consistent basis, on a monthly basis and everything. So those are the current goals.
That's pretty cool. That it looks pretty good. I see a lot of people go for partner and be like, okay, I'm partnered. Yay! What's next? And then I think like sub count is really good to go by on Twitch because like YouTube puts a lot of like there's a lot of failure on like the subscriber number, but even when it comes to like advertisers, they don't give a shit about your subscriber number. They care about like your consistent viewership, which Twitch focuses on a lot better. With that, actually, I think it's time to get to my most favorite part of the podcast. Before we get into the fan questions, because those are going to be coming up, and I thought we got some good submissions. If you have any questions for Neo, feel free to put them in down in Twitch chat. But let's get into the explain this part of the podcast. Excuse me for that. All right. Well, let's first get into the part where I talked about you being the spiritual father to this podcast. You may not know, but Neo actually came up with a title for this podcast. You still remember that?
I slightly remember that. As an idea. Yeah, I totally remember that as an idea.
I remember, like, I pitched this podcast idea to Neo. I was like, I want to do a podcast where I just, like, sit down and talk with creators and just, like, get to know them better. Because, like, that's so much fun. It's, like, number one, you get to know, like, a wide range of content creators. And it's, like, also for, like, I love seeing more about the people that I watch because there's so much more about them. Like, I want to figure out what's going on with them, what's going on with their lives, how they got to be, if there's any advice and stuff like that, and, you know, all the things behind the scenes that we did. And I was like, I don't know what to do with it. And he was like, why don't you just call it, like, who the F is? And I was like, fine, let's go with it. Anyway, now, there's one good thing that I've found, because when we go back to your Twitter, it's like all memes. When you started your Twitter, I don't know if you remember this, but like the only thing that you see is just memes from iFunny or something like that. 2015.
Yeah.
What were you doing? Just posting random memes every single day?
I love iFunny. I was on iFunny all the time. I really was. It was just something I would do on a daily basis. It was just. I'm not on it as often anymore by far because I've gotten so busy with all this, and this is what I care more for. But in the beginning, yeah, like I was. It was like you know those people that are like addicted to Instagram or Twitter or just Facebook or whatever. Like that was my addiction. I was like addicted to iFunny. And it was a good laugh, and it was just, I don't know, I enjoyed it. I mean, I still to this day, like, I save my iFunny, what is it? Like, when I'm on iFunny, I most of the time I was on there to save stuff. I probably have over 4,000 to 5,000 saved iFunnies, like, that I just saved and put on my old computer and stuff. Like, there's just loads of them for me to go back to and just laugh at sometime. Like, it's just my favorite ones. There's one. Oh my god, to me this is the funniest. It's the hardest for me to find, but I love this, and I feel like you got to be a certain kind of person.
Can we find it? Can we actually find it?
That's what I'm saying. It's really hard to find because I don't know what they titled it. But when I type stuff like Jurassic Park or T-Rex or whatever, like it doesn't always come up. But basically, this is what it is. It's like it's the scene from Jurassic Park where they first discover the Bronchiosauruses or whatever they are. I don't know, the ones with the really big ones that are, you know, vegetarians with like the really long necks that like eat trees and stuff. Yeah. It's the scene where they first are in Jurassic Park and they first see those for the first time. And what's his name? The guy stands up in the Jeep, looks at it, like rips his glasses off, or no, like looks at it, puts his hand on the woman's head and turns it so that she sees them too. And then she takes her glasses off like, oh my god, like, you know, what is this? And they both look up and stuff at this, you know, like big dinosaur. Like, it's literally that scene, but they don't show the dinosaur. Instead, when they both look up at what it is, it cuts to like a baseball game, and you see this guy just in the audience, just like doing this, and he's just acting like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or whatever. It was just, I don't know, man, like I'm definitely retarded, but you have to be a certain kind of person to just really find that hysterical. I love that. I love that one so much. I had to have posted it somewhere. but it's just really hard to find. Like if you go to iFunny. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot of memes. I have a lot of memes saved. I think I'm the original meme sage. Memes just trying to be me. That's all
yeah, you're really like I go for like your YouTube, your Twitch, your Twitter to see if there's like anything funny to like talk about, right? And I just went for your Twitter, and at some point, like, it's just like 5 memes or so a day that you just throw through on your Twitter, and it was linked. I think it was linked via iFunny or so. That was like, oh my god, this dude is in the memes. This is so nice. I can relate. Fun thing is that actually Warframe memes are becoming more normie memes. Like there are some like I go to meme websites sometimes, and I discover a lot of Warframe memes hanging around, and I'm like, hey, that's kind of cool.
Hey.
But if you find it, dude, send it out again. Send it out on Twitter. Like I would love to see that.
I'm trying to look for it right now, but the search bar that I'm dealing with is not letting me actually search in it. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyway.
All right. Well, where are you in? Are you in Rabbit?
I could be in Rabbit if you need me to jump back over there.
No need, because like I have the remote in it, so I would have to give it to you. Maybe I was like, maybe you're looking in that, but anyway, let's see, because there's one thing that I wanted to ask you something about, and that's a question about how is your beer bottle cap furniture coming along?
It's not yet.
It's not.
What's your excuse? With everything?
Why it's not here? Like you said 2 years ago.
Because that's a hobby. That's not like that's like that was a side hobby before I ever got into this. I collected loads of those, and I'm glad I still have them. To be honest, I really hope my dad doesn't do anything. But eventually, yeah, I'm gonna make some cool ass furniture with a lot of beer bottle caps and stuff. Just kind of funny because I'm not much of a drinker. But I love beer pong. I love beer pong. If you don't bounce, you're not playing the game right. I don't care who you are. Like, if you're going to take the strategy of bouncing out of the game, then you're just making it convenient for you to stand around and just play a game where you socialize. I'm sorry. Beer pong is a sport. It's already been in Vegas. You know, you already could have won a lot of money for doing it. It's a sport. So if you're just going to play it without the bouncing, you're not doing it right. You're just socializing. That's all you're doing.
Because I came across this video right here. I was like, my God. This is such a young Neo. Such a young Neo right here.
And on the other side here,
I'm getting
double. By the way, I collect a lot of beer bottle caps because I want to make a lot of fun.
Like, man, those are a lot. Those are a real.
That is not counting for. Those are just the organized ones. That's not counting for all the ones that I have in boxes. That's not counting. If you actually, I don't know if you'll see it in the video, but at some point it'll probably actually in the very beginning of the video when I walk down the steps and you're gonna see Ellie, my puppy at the time. As I'm coming into as I'm walking through the door at the bottom of the steps and everything, there may be a white cabinet that you guys will see to the left. That's filled. That white cabinet is filled. Do I show it? Do I show the other side? Come on, keep going. Oh, I don't even show the thing. All right, maybe you'll see it at some point around here. But there's a big white dresser that is loaded with these things, and then there's more to the side. Like you didn't see all the beer bottle caps that I had. There's a lot more that I've collected.
But how do you go about like what are your plans? I've never seen like real beer bottle cap furniture. Like how do you go about making it?
Look it up. Yeah, look it up. I'm not gonna. I mean, like, I don't even know how to explain it. You could you'll find it. You'll totally find it if you look it up. Wait. Oh, it was almost at the point in the video. Go a little bit more. Pause it. No, it's too high up on my face. It's gotta like lower.
Oh, I think I saw just like a tiny piece of it.
I saw the corner of it. Yeah. Anyway, the corner's not gonna help much, but
like
whatever.
Right there.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Silly.
That's a big cabinet, man. I can see. My God. Do you still remember making this video?
Yes, I do.
I
remember all the excitement and everything. I remember it all.
I think I just saw it. There.
Yeah, that cabinet. It's a little taller than me, so you guys can get an idea as to like the height of it. But like I can't see the top of that cabinet. But yeah, that whole thing is filled with like beer bottle caps and everything. It's loaded, absolutely loaded.
By the way, I see a new emote coming up right here. Video stills are the worst.
Yeah, they can be. Well, thank you for making me look attractive in the video. I appreciate it.
All right, let's take a look. Beer
cat furniture.
Cat furniture. Oh wow.
Like, yeah, a lot of really nice stuff. You know that I can't be like everybody else. I'm really gonna have to go above and beyond to do something crazier than all this.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to see that. You should make a video about that, or maybe even stream that, dude. That'd be so cool. That'd be so freaking cool.
You know what? I may wind up streaming that because currently I don't have the ability to walk around and do like I would do cooking streams too.
Ooh.
I spent a long time in my life like just learning how to cook and shit. So I could totally do cooking streams, but what I have currently is a POS phone that I wouldn't rely on whatsoever for streaming. Plus, I don't know how my Wi-Fi would hold up on the stream on the phone. But whatever, sooner or later that'll change. I'll probably wind up with a better phone and I can handle it. But yeah, then we'll do a beer bottle cap stream or something like that.
That would be so cool. That would be so cool. Going into the depths, going into your hidden faults.
Yeah.
I just imagine like two like big doors and then we're feeling like, you know, Scrooge McDuck who like swims in his money. It's like you just swim in your beer bottle caps.
Yeah.
All right, let's go take a look at the fan questions. We got a nice whole bunch of them, guys. It's been wonderful.
Oh, lovely. Good. Thank you, guys.
Also, a lot from your community, and I think there's a we can clear these the funny ones I cut from Twitter. I love them. With number one being, of course, if you could describe your last fart as a movie title, what would it be?
I saw that question. I was thinking about it. I think we're gonna go with Return of the Sith.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. What are your dumbest talents or tricks?
My dumbest talents or tricks. From a very early age, I had a cousin that would always do I think it's a Donald Duck voice. And I'm not very good at it, but it would just be like the kind of stuff, and he would like talk like Donald Duck, and that kind of got me into just imitating voices and everything that I heard. And for most of my life, even up to now, I still just imitate things that I hear. So I have a lot of like personalities and voices and stuff that I do as characters. Kind of for fun, so I guess that might count as one of this.
Do you have one to share here?
I may still be able to armpit fart. I could definitely palm fart. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That doesn't count. Like this is stupid. Like, to answer the question, stupid talents, this is stupid, and I can do one of those. Do I have any characters? Wait, what is that? What you asked? Do I have any characters?
Yeah. Like, do you have any good imitations for it? Because like, I tried my hand at imitation. I was shit at it. There was like a very brief period. I was like, let me try imitations. Let me try imitating some Warframe YouTubers and stuff like that, which was a funny experience. Never doing that again. But like, do you have any ones that you say, oh my god, I would be able to do them right now, or do you like need to get into the role of them?
Yeah, I just probably just throw them out or whatever. I mean, they may not be very refined because this is on the spot kind of a thing, but I mean, I suppose like since I moved out of New York down south, I've just been imitating a lot of like Southern talk and stuff like that. So I got this character, man. The character he called Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I mean, a lot of you guys might have seen him on my streams and stuff, but I mean, like he cool, man. He really cool. He'd be like taking over stream and stuff when I'm like, you know, when Neo decides he's still gonna step out, Tango come on, he just take over stream, and you know, he helped everybody out. He's a cool dude. He's very respectable. He's very just for the community, person of the community, for the community, by the community kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that is so cool. My God, that is so cool.
I've been working on, I don't know if you guys know Louis Caliber, and how he got Louis Caliber was part of Vanos Squad, and he had his own series called Squeaker Squad, and Louis Caliber would do this squeaker voice, which is basically just you imitate a little kid, and he was so good at it that he would like record these videos, and they're still funny. If you go back and you watch the GTA 5 videos of Squeaker Squad, they're pretty funny. I think my favorite one is number 9 in the series, maybe. I'm not sure. It's been a long time, but he's really funny. So he just does like a little kid's voice. And I've still been working on it. I know it would annoy a lot of people if I did it very like all the time. So I really try not to do it all the time. Let me see if I can get his name right.
Yeah. Alright, hey, what's up, you guys? Alright, so, I'm gonna show you guys how to, stream Warframe. Okay, so, here you go. You gotta get a character, and then you gotta go take the character, you gotta put some weapons on, and then you make it look really cool, and okay, cool, now you're playing Warframe. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, or you wanna play, my name is, I forgot what I came up with this. I came up with a name for him, too. His name, it's like Max or something like that. Malcolm, I forgot what it was.
My God, dude! Like,
but I came up with a name for that character.
That is crazy. Like, there's things in life that I have like real big respect for, which is like, including music, art, like these things that I can't do, but I see how amazing it is. This is one of those, especially like, you have some people that can like imitate and just like they kind of like change the way they speak, but you can still hear that it's them. Like, this is like, if I would hear you stream without face cam, I'd be like, oh, probably someone else just walked into the room.
Man, you honestly, you have like no idea who I was. I mean, if you came down to my stream and I was streaming like this, you'd be all like, no, that ain't Neo. Somebody took over Neo's stream. I don't know who that guy is.
Unless you're doing face cam. By the way, let's take a look at that Squeaker Squad then. Partner in crime. Did 9, right? GTA 5. Let's see. Is it this one?
Partner in crime. What are the other ones that he has? Let me see. House party. House party's a little funny. Hey girl. Hey girl.
All right, let's see.
That one. I would. I don't know. I want to say it's earlier on in the video. I don't think it's the whole thing.
What's up,
But.
Who was that? Who are you, punk? What's your name? I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
Stop yelling.
This is a full-grown adult making this noise.
What? No way.
Top of a ladder?
My God.
Smoked a whole bunch of bong and now I'm drinking a whole bunch of whiskey. You smoked bong? Can I get an invite, please? Stop yelling. I'm sorry. Can I have an invite, please? I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna invite.
I'm sorry.
Because it's not bringing my thing up. I could bring your thing. Wait. I'm gonna knock on your door, okay? Okay. Whoa! Why are you a monkey? Why are you a girl? Because why? I can be. Stop following me, you monkey. I can do that. I'm an adult. You can't follow me. I thought you said you were having a party here. This isn't a party. There's only one freaking girl. Yeah, I know. Because nobody else will come to the party.
Oh my God.
Did your boyfriend hit you?
Did your boyfriend hit you?
This is so crazy. My God, that is. I've never heard of that. My God, that is. Wow.
Yeah, not that I never did, like kid voices or squeaker voices in the past, but it like watching Louis do it kind of made me like, all right, this is a lot of people love this, and when I realized a lot of people love it, I was like, okay, maybe I should just get better at it and eventually do something with it. So I don't really know what to do yet because this isn't normal for me. It's not what I built my audience on. So I don't know. Maybe I'll save it for down the road. We'll do something later with it. But I find this hysterical. I think this is so funny.
All right, now we have a few more serious questions. By the way, guys, if you're watching here in chat, you want to ask questions, serious or not, feel free to put them in. We'll decide what will be acceptable or not. This was a question I thought was kind of interesting, especially because like there's been like a huge topic around Warframe for quite some time, and given where you are, what you do, and how much time you spend in trade chat, is like, would you change the way that trade chat works, and if so, in what way would you change it?
Yeah, hardcore. I've already talked to the developer. I've already talked to Reb about it. Taylor took notes on a conversation we had. And I don't know how much of it they're actually trying to do, but or how much, you know, fits their agenda, because I'm not trying to mess their agenda. You know, they're doing fantastic, the devs. Big shout out to them and all the hard work that they're doing all the time. The feedback that I gave about, you know, what I think could improve trade chat and stuff like that would be for you to be able to go through your entire inventory and click on the things that you want to get rid of, the things that you want to sell. Be able to set a price for them as to what you want to sell. And this is all in-game. None of this is off of, you know, because I know the websites are kind of like as helpful as they're supposed to be. One thing that people don't realize they do is that if you're spending all this time trading off the game, you're hurting the game, because even though you're about it, it's got less people playing it now. And the less people that are playing the game, the less attractive it looks. It's back to the social proof we talked about in the beginning of the stream. It's the same principle. It's like the less people that are playing it, the less popular it's going to get. So you want people on your game. From the developer's point of view, you don't want people using your game without actually being on it, because that doesn't help the game at all. It doesn't make the game look like it's alive. You know, it's the very opposite. So in the game, I'd love to be able to just click everything that I want to sell, that, you know, I want it to be sold, be able to click what I want it sold for, and then I want there to be some kind of system where somebody can just, you know, like maybe scroll through your inventory or something like that. You know, if you see somebody in trade chat that, you know, like maybe they'll say, hey, you know, like while somebody's trading in trade chat, you can click on their name, view their profile, and how they have a wish list. Maybe they'll have a trade list or something like that. And you could look through all the items that they have to trade. And I want the game to automatically, once something gets sold, once you sell something in the game, you don't have to go back to your list and adjust it. It knows that you sold it, and it takes it off your list. It unchecks it or whatever, you know, has to happen. If you have multiple, then it still stays checked, you know, but once you have none left, it's unchecked. It's not on the list anymore. You know, the price disappears and all that sort of stuff. But that's what I want to see. Like, that's what I think would be great for the game. Now, I never talked about it publicly, really, with a lot of people, so I'm open to feedback, because the last thing I want is for it to ruin the game. The last thing that I want would be a change like this to ruin trade chat and how it operates and all that sort of stuff. And when I mean ruin, I mean kill it. I don't want it to die. I
really feel that trade chat, like, as much as we give hate on trade, okay, because like the trade system is not perfect. We've had like Maru's Bazaar come in as like another option, but no one really uses that. It's like Maru's Bazaar is kind of a fun idea, but you're only limited to like 50 people in an instance, and it's kind of like you have to go to this Bazaar thing. But trade chat is literally what makes Warframe this free to play game, because if we didn't have trading, you'd literally either have to win the plat or you'd have to buy it. And trade chat really makes it like, okay, if you want the plat, if you want plat for free, just go to the Void, go to wherever, get yourself some stuff that people want to buy, and you can easily make plat. Like, I remember when Greedy Mac was a thing, I could sell like a greedy pool mod like every day for 20 plat. That was really nice. Every day 20 plat. But that's what makes, like, it's a very tricky thing. It's a very tricky thing. But I like the idea of being like, you waste so much time. You waste so much time in like trying to throw it out there, and like you just have to sit there like either like want to sell. If you want, you're sitting on how many Fuban Prime sets. Like you can't just throw like want to sell Fuban Prime, and then like you can't list off everything. But you have so much, so you have to wait for people to say want to buy. There's so much wasted time in there, and I can understand that a lot of people don't even want to get into that. So yeah, I'm having I have a question here from chat. Neo, where are the Fortnite nudes that you promised and haven't delivered yet? Where do you at?
I have delivered the Fortnite nudes. I deliver them every time I stream, and I don't know why people keep asking me for them, because they're there every time that I stream. You guys can get all the Fortnite nudes you want.
Speaking of Fortnite, actually, I just wanted to quickly touch on this with you, because I know you play a lot of Fortnite. Also, a lot of Fortnite PvE, which I think is amazing, because it's a great game mode. But
I wish I watched the Philip DeFranco. I had everybody tell me about this yesterday. I wish I watched the Philip DeFranco last night.
Apparently, Fortnite is being sued for copying the PUBG. Which pretty much like the way that I see it, the way that we all said it is like, you know, PUBG came around, it was immensely popular, and then Fortnite was this like little Fort game. They're like, hey man, we could do it too, but they made a better version of it, and it was free. It's like that was like the big thing.
Yeah,
it's like that's what made it better, and then all the updates they've put through. I don't even know whether they like plan this to be like this the standard version. Whether they plan this battle royale to like be there for like a long time, or just maybe like a temporary thing. But it made the game like earn like 200 million every month. But yeah, apparently the makers of Fortnite, one of the world's most popular video games. I still can't. Were you in the beta version when you could just get in when you got a key to Fortnite, the founders version?
Well, it's not free to play yet, Fortnite. Just the battle royale has always been free when it's from the moment it dropped. But the PvE that I play, it's still not free yet, so you still have to actually pay to play it.
But were you there like when before the battle royale came in, like before?
Yes.
Because I remember I was in it. I was like, yeah, this is a fun game, but you know, there's not a lot of hype around it. I wish it would grow, but I don't know whether this is gonna go big. And then all of a sudden, it's like the world's most popular game. It's insane how quickly that went.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
The studio behind PUBG has asked the court in South Korea to determine whether Epic Games has copied its intellectual property. It's very interesting that they do this in Korea, not in the States, not.
Yeah, it's funny how they had to go to Korea to get this to happen.
So they, Fortnite and PUBG have both attracted millions of gamers and they use last player standing online battles. Epic Games has not yet commented on the laws. It's very interesting though that PUBG runs an Unreal Engine.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, small aside, if you don't know Unreal Engine,
which as we all know, Epic slightly responsible for that, if not mainly responsible for that.
It's what do you think about this?
Well, I think it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Like, I'm actually disgusted with PUBG and really disappointed with them for being these kind of people. Because ultimately what's going to wind up happening here is what's most likely going to happen is they're basically trying to grab at money they don't deserve. And I hardcore believe they don't deserve that. And the reason is because in business, if you want to be successful in business, what they tell you all the time is either come up with something brand new that no one's ever thought of, or the easier route, which a lot of people take, is find something that needs improving and improve it, and then turn around and sell that, which is absolutely what I feel Fortnite did. Mm-hmm. And I'm pissed off at PUBG not because I play the game or because I'm involved in it, but because of the feedback that I get from the community about PUBG is that they're very slow on content. They're very slow on, maintaining and upkeeping the game. They're very slow on making it, bigger and better. So it was only a matter of time before something better came around. And now it's like they want to whine and cry about it because they weren't working harder. I mean, they're a pay-to-play game that was that was one of the most popular before Fortnite came around. You're telling me, with the millions of dollars that were recorded that PUBG got before Fortnite came around, you couldn't spend any of that money on maybe getting a bigger staff together to start improving the content, the updates on the game and stuff like that? You couldn't take any of that, any of those millions of dollars and reinvest it in yourself to get this up off the ground faster for your community. And now that something better came around, like it was eventually bound to happen, you want to get salty with the new thing that came around that isn't actually an entire knockoff of your game? And it's so ridiculous to think that like people want to sue for a genre of a video game, when in reality, it may be the same genre, but the improvements in business that Fortnite wound up making is that there's building. The aesthetics are completely different. It's very colorful. It's definitely very saturated in color. Very, a lot more kid friendly than PUBG. I mean, like, it's just the whole game itself is it's the same genre of game, but it's built very differently. And what I don't know, just PUBG in general, they're just disgusting the living crap out of me with the fact that you wanted to be lazy, you didn't use any of the money that you gained, which was an enormous amount of money. You could have nailed it. You could have nailed the crap out of what you were doing. I don't know what you were investing your money in or what the hell, but you totally could have just done a lot better for PUBG. And instead, you wanna be like what I would call like a weak ass person, like a weak little bitch, and you wanna just take this opportunity to continue to do what lazy people do, and that's try to find the easy way into success by suing, Epic for Battle Royale and Fortnite.
It's strange how they come around with this like right now, because it's like, as it said right here, Fortnite was first released in July 2017, and the Battle Royale mode was not added until September 2017. So it's like 4 months later, because I think this was in January that they filed this already, or they just filed. No, they just filed this. But they've been looking into it for a couple of months or so. But it's like, you take like almost half a year to respond to like a game coming out. Like, if you have a problem with that, why don't they just like sue it right up the gates? It's just like, let's see if it gets successful, and then
they might have actually tried to sue it right out of the gates. I'm not really sure how that, because this isn't the first time we've heard that they're suing Fortnite. We've heard this before, and before it was thrown out. It was like, that's ridiculous, you can't do this. So if they had to try, I don't understand like what's going on entirely, but if they had to travel all the way to South Korea
to make it work,
to make it work, but like South Korea is not gonna. What is South Korea gonna do for the United States? If anything, they're just gonna stop the game, from like making money in South Korea, which again is pathetic on PUBG's part, and it's the lazy man's way of doing stuff. And it's just, I don't know, just them as people and the way that whoever's managing PUBG, not the people that are working their butts off day in and day out, making the graphics, adding guns to the game, just, building the levels and stuff. But the people that are the decision makers for the future of the company, they're disgusting the crap out of me with the behavior that they have here. Like, I've lost all respect for them. To turn around and just do something like this.
It kind of becomes like remember how a couple of years ago you had this Apple Samsung thing, which like went on in every single court. Every single country had their own court case between Apple and Samsung, and then like if one of them won somewhere, it was like for them evidence to like go to other courts and be like, hey, this court, they said we were right. And it was just like, it was brutal, man. But yeah, I remember first time I played Fortnite Battle Royale, because I saw it come into the game and I was like, well, this is kind of PUBG, right? However, like, I really noticed that like one of the big things, like, graphics you can throw around, but it could still be the same core game. However, aside from the building, like, I know that on PUBG you can run around the map and you cannot be seen. But in Fortnite, because the styling is so different, if you're outside, chances are that you're going to be seen from like a mile away. People are going to spot you. It's like an entirely different gameplay, which is why the building comes in so handy. However, like one of the interesting things as well is like they have this court case, but they're actually dealing in two courts. It's like you're going to have the South Korea court, which can either run in your favor or against your favor. Like, it can go either way. It will be kind of sad to see it go towards PUBG, but whatever happens, right? However, you're also gonna have to deal with the public court, like people outside, the people that actually play the game, the gamer community, like the people that read this, see this outside, and they're not gonna like it, just the way that we're not liking them. It's like the way you're showing off, the way this PR is, it's like, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of a crazy thing. I do kind of feel with Fortnite, like, I kind of like Epic Games, because back in the day, if you haven't seen a documentary, Digital Extremes and Epic Games almost merged into like one company. They were that close, but that wasn't.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought they were all kind of in the same boat, and then they had to go separate ways.
Yeah.
Or they decided to go separate ways.
I think they were like working together, and then they were like, well, let's make this like one company, and then that wasn't allowed, so they had to go two separate ways. So it's like they looked into the options of like merging together. Let me see if there are any other questions. I think there's one, unless Jack came up with something else. All right. Any anticipation regarding Warframe's future? How is our Battle Royale gonna look like once we get TennoCon 28? No, just what do you think? Any anticipations regarding its future? What's coming up? What's going to be the next thing next year's after the cinematic trilogy?
Well, I know that this is going to be an early release of information that's totally fabricated, but DE is planning on making a Battle Royale out of Warframe. So everybody go nuts over that.
I'm going to repeat
that I said that was a total fabrication. So we're all clear on that.
No, but like ever since, if they ever do it, I'm gonna say I'm fucking cool because I remember when the planes came out, I was like, this is the perfect time to do like I wanted to do like an April Fool's video where you'd have like your Tenno walk around, and you just fabricate like a match for like 20 minutes. And you do it with a couple of YouTubers, and you just have like your Tenno walking around. You start as your Tenno, and just like find a way to like make sure that you drop your weapons. Maybe find a, I don't know, the Grenier guy that drops your weapons, and then you just walk around. You act like you, oh my god, I found the Warframe. Let me jump into that fire editing, make it look like there's an actual battle royale mode. Mm-hmm. If they put it in, I'm gonna say I call it, but I don't really think it's like what Warframe needs, especially not right now. That'd be so bad. That'd be so
bad. I mean, at the same time, though, now is the time to make it happen if they're going to do that. But I don't think that's a good idea.
Have they missed the boat already on it? Like, unless it's going to be, like, really, really good.
I don't think it's... I think the problem is that there are no boats in Warframe. I think that's the problem. Is like, you can't... I don't think you can make it happen with Warframe, a battle royale kind of thing. Like, how would you do that? You know, well, I mean, maybe it would be cool to have like a new kind of conclave mode where it's open world, and you know, you can fight other Tenno on a big landscape like Plains of Eidolon or something like that. But to make it like battle royale, I don't know, man. I don't know if we can make that. I don't know if that would really. It's so far from the genre and what Warframe is in the first place. That would be like what I said before. Like, I can make the squeaker voice. But that's not what my community is used to seeing me for. So if I did that, it may not get taken very well, and they might get really irritated about it, and it might be like my most disliked video or something. So I don't really know, you know?
Like, the way that you could do it is, like, everyone, like, jumps in as a Tenno, and you have to... You can get a Warframe, you can get a primary, secondary, and melee. And, like, there are no mods on that. You just get the standard thing, and then you have to kill each other, and, like, you could do that on the planes. However, like, again, like, PvP never really worked out in any way. And I saw this Frame Fighter, and people being like, oh my god, Frame Fighter, make it a real thing. I'm like, I don't know. But a bit more serious, like, what do you see outside of Sacrifice, which I really think is coming soon? What do you think is going to be in the future for the game? Like, do you have any anticipations, any ideas, any...
Well, I asked DE Steve at TennoCon last year, about... you know, the future of the game, and I was just kind of talking a little bit about it, and he said something along the lines of, like, I was suggesting, I think I was asking if he's going to have multiple, you know, Plains of Eidolons kind of for each planet and stuff like that. And I forgot how we got to this point in the conversation, but ultimately, yeah, they do want to have multiple styles of open world for different planets. Then they definitely want to get into, at least as of last year when we talked about this. I don't think anything had been put on paper. I don't think they're working on this right now or anything. But, you know, in Warframe's future, he said he would like to see multiple solar systems. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be amazing. So, like, the game doesn't just end in this one solar system. That's fantastic.
Because getting to the multiple planes, how would you feel about, like, the Plains of Venus being like the next thing to drop? Like, if the Sacrifice want to drop, but the Plains of Venus, do you think the game is ready for it? Is that necessarily something you want to see?
I think the game is ready for it all. If they dropped 10 new open worlds and they dropped a whole other solar system tomorrow, everybody's ready for that. It's content. It's new. It's just, yeah, we're ready whenever they got it. Whenever the moment they got it, we're ready.
Because I feel like I've said this, and I will stick by it. If the Plains of Venus drops before the Sacrifice, I will not touch it until the Sacrifice comes out. Because they did such a bad job implementing the Plains of Eidolon, and they never got back to it. Like, you know, all of a sudden we had this new node with, like, an open world, and I was like, we got this entire new game up. We've got this entire big, amazing square. Like, why don't we have a quest being like, oh my god, we just discovered this 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers plains. Let's check it out. Like, I never was introduced to, as a player, like, I'm a veteran player. I watch the dev stream, but imagine I'm one of the 29,700,000 people that doesn't watch the dev stream or the YouTube content. It's like, you got a new node. You got no idea what it is. You just come in. They never explain what seed this is. They never explain what the plains is. They never even have a quest for, like, the biggest update for the game. And I was like, okay, maybe you just wanted to rush it. Maybe that comes later. Okay, maybe that comes later. But they never came with it, and instead of like making the planes as optimal as it could be, introducing it, they're like, all right, planes of Venus, and it's like, what? No, but like, what are even planes? What are even planes to begin with? Like, they never explain, or like, that's the way I feel. Like, if there would be like 10 new planes coming out and be like, well, you better make sure you better explain that than you do with the planes of Eidolon, because otherwise you're just like throwing in content and you don't make sure that sticks.
I love the perspectives, like how everybody has different perspectives on things. Because for me, you don't got to tell me nothing. Just give me it. You know what I mean? Like, let me mess around in it. Like, I want to play it. I want to be playing it. I don't need to have a reason for it. I just want to, jump in there.
I just want to make it feel like coherent. I just want to like make the game feel immersive, make the game feel real. And it's like, it's so weird if like all of a sudden new note pops up and like you bring this content, but you don't explain what it is. You don't put it in a storyline. You don't put in like, oh, hey, like why did we never see the Planes of Eidolon before that time? Why were there like 5 years of Warframe where we didn't have the Planes of Eidolon? Like, there was a clear reason why we had like 3 years of Warframe without a Tenno, because we didn't know about it. Why was there like 4 years of Warframe where we couldn't walk as a Tenno? Well, because we had to learn that in the War Within. Why was there 5 years of Warframe without the Planes of Eidolon? I don't know, it just showed up one day. And why do we help the people see this? I don't know. Just because they're NPCs. It's like, it kind of bothers me because like, you got such great content. Please implement it.
It showed up. The reason why it showed up is because D is always listening to the community, asking for feedback and stuff like that. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm the reason it showed up, but I definitely gave this feedback before the Planes had ever happened. I totally gave the feedback of, and this is another conversation I have with Reb, might have been the same one about Trade Chat too. But in the conversation, I told her, like how, like, why don't you make an open world with Warframe? I am not going to sit here and say I'm the first one to think of this. I don't think I am. But I definitely said it to her. Why don't you make an open world with Warframe? And then think about Skyrim, how you can walk around this open world and there's all these NPC players that you can interact with and stuff. And maybe some of them have missions for you. Some of them might just be shops. Like just a lot of video games do that, is what I told her. And I was like, why don't you throw something like that into the game? It'll make it it'll give it more depth. It'll make it, make it bigger than it is. And it definitely made it bigger than it is. It definitely made Warframe bigger than it is at so many levels, aside from, just playable in the game, but the community as well. When they released that stuff, I mean, the player base grew significantly. The amount of people that are playing Warframe on a consistent basis now compared to before the Planes of Eidolon dropped, it's enormous how many people are playing the game right now because of just that little, tweak that they added to it.
Well, even if it would just be that, like, I'd be down with that. Like, just be like, you like all of a sudden like the player just sits there and then you come around and you're like this big shiny thing with like as if you come down as a messenger from the heavens. You're like, let there be an open world, and then all of a sudden poof, it's there. It's like, okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense. We'll have to explain you, but well, people can watch your streams, they can find out who you are, but at least it makes sense why it shows up. Because I feel like I've complained about this so much. Like I'm so tired of this, but it's like DE wants to like show off their content. Like they really want to show it off in the dev stream. Like, oh my god, we're doing the planes. Oh my god, we're doing ghouls. Oh my god, we're doing Plaguester. Oh my god, we're doing Kingpin. We're doing Sacrifice. We're doing Raids rework. We're doing Dark Sectors. But the half of that you don't see in the game, and the other half we just throw out there. And oh yeah, we have a core Warframe, we just put it out there, and we like tie it via a very weird loophole to Sanctuary Onslaught. But then it's gonna be the very first Warframe in 4 years' time that doesn't come with a quest. And it's like, yeah, well, who are you serving? Are you serving the people that are watching your social media? Or are you serving the people that are actually playing the game?
Yeah,
which is something that I've been concerned about, because it's like the Warframe is doing so good, but it's like it's not like I really liked it when we also had like the quests come up and like make it feel like, oh my god, it's not like Destiny where you have to like go through the codex to actually know what the hell's going on. But yeah. Anyway, I think that is all of the questions. I think that's that. So I think we've come to the final part of this podcast. Which is something like I'm really like asking this because like it can be something big, it can be something small, but I know that it's a special moment for you. So if there is or if there isn't,
my first period
could very well be that. Like what I'm asking you is like, is there a moment in your life that that happened maybe for your YouTube or Twitch career, or maybe not even entire not even like connected to that, but is there a moment like that stands out for you that if you would go back to like your very young self, maybe your high school self or even younger, that you'd be like, hey dude, look what's coming up, look what I did, that's so freaking cool, you gotta look forward to that? Is there like one very big crazy thing, it doesn't have to be big, just like special, important to you, that you can think of?
A crazy thing that if I go back to, like if I went back in time and told myself when I was in high school what I had coming up for me, is there one crazy thing that I'd be like, yo, I can't believe you did this?
Yeah, like that.
Oh yeah, there's loads of stuff, but I can't talk about that because it's all stupid. It's all stupid party stuff I did.
Anything you can talk about? Anything you can talk about with just stupid party stuff? Maybe less big.
I mean, I suppose to being a YouTuber and a streamer and stuff like that. I mean, it's funny. Like even part of me wouldn't be surprised because when I was younger, you know what I would do? I had cassette tapes and a recorder, and I would record music, but specific parts of the music where they would say certain things. So like Alanis Morissette, for example, is one of the ones I remember making when I was younger. I don't know where these. I don't even know if these cassette tapes still even exist, but it'd be like young me, being like, all right, now on today's talk show we have Alanis Morissette. Alanis, how you doing today? And then I would play the part of and then I would record her in her song going fine, like just in her Alanis way or whatever. And I would keep an interview going and stuff like that. And I don't know. It was one thing I did when I was younger. I was very artistic growing up. A lot of signs in my childhood would point to, I probably wouldn't be surprised if I went back and told myself that I was doing YouTube and Twitch. I think definitely a lot. I think what I would be surprised about is how fucking long it took me to get to this point. That's what I think I'd be surprised about. The fact that I didn't do it right out of the gate. You know, that as soon as high school was over, I didn't start doing it immediately. I think that's what I'd be most surprised about, that I didn't start doing this sooner.
Yeah, it's not the best life, okay? There's some people sometimes like being weird, looking at me like, what the fuck? You're doing YouTube and Twitch? Why you're not studying? Why not taking a job?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, they don't have to understand it. It's not their dream. They're not. Yeah. It's, I mean, in theory, like they can't see it.
No.
Because it's not theirs. You know, you see it. If you have that, then you run with it. It's yours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see it. Don't let anybody tell you about how to, what you should be doing with your life. If you know what you want to do with yourself, then just do it.
That's actually a beautiful thing to end on. Guys, we've come to the end of the podcast. I want to thank you guys so much. Next week we don't have a podcast because next week there's gonna be the amazing charity stream, Ableton. If you guys don't know about that, it's gonna be from the 8th to the 10th on twitch.tv/Warframe Fanchannels. The entire Warframe community is coming together to play and do streams for 48 hours long for you. So make sure you tune into that. It's gonna be absolutely great. Aside from that, I would just want to say, Neo, you've been an absolutely amazing guest. I just want to say, if you're not following Neo yet on YouTube or Twitch, I think his links were around in chat. Make sure you go follow that, or look in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you so much, man. It's been so great.
Thank you for having me. Incredible host.
I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you did. Guys, I will see you all next time, and until then, stay safe. I'll see you later.